Good morning, students. In today's session, will discuss the functions of smart grid component. What are the components available in the smart grid and its functions? So, the main functions of the smart grid component. So, from generation level of the power system, we need to have a smart enhancement which will be extended from the technologies that could improve your reliability, stability of the generation, and to have an intelligent control and the generation mix consisting of renewable resources. So the following will be the smart grid components. So the main function of the smart grid component is to provide a stability, reliability of the generation along with the intelligent control and the generation mixer. The following will be the smart grid component. The first one is going to be the smart grid interface component. Second one, storage component, transmission subcomponent, monitoring and control technology component, intelligent grid distribution subsystem component, demand side management component. We'll discuss each component in detail. The first one is going to be the smart device interface component. Smart device interface component is nothing but smart meters. So we will be using a smart meter. What is the necessity of using this smart device interface component means in order to record the operational data. So in order to monitor the data, in order to monitor the system, in order to monitor the control part of the smart grid, we will be using this smart devices interface component. So the main aim of this smart device interface component is to monitor, record and control the data from the part of generation, and the real time data has to be recorded, monitored, and it has to be controlled. So this could be a centrally distributed and district energy system. So this can be installed in the as a center point of attraction in the common power PCC point. So the smart device interface component is mainly used for monitoring and controlling the part of generation component real-time information process. Only in smart grid, only the real-time data will be processed. The real-time data will be monitored, observed, controlled, and it will be saved. These resources need to be seamlessly integrated in the operation of both centrally distributed and district energy system. So it has to be integrated in the operation between your centrally distributed and district. In between this, it has to be integrated. The smart device interface component needs to be integrated between the operation of both centrally distributed and district energy system. The next component in smart grid is storage component. So storage component means we will have a different types of storage element. For example, the energy that is obtained from the atmosphere, that is from nature, whatever energy from solar, we are getting amount of power. So that power is not constant throughout the day, throughout the year, or throughout the month. So it is not constant. It will vary according to the atmospheric condition and other ecological condition. During natural disaster also, there may be chances for the amount of power to get it vary in case of your solar PV system. So due to this varying in nature, the power output from the renewable energy source is going to get vary. Therefore, we need to connect the energy storage system. This energy storage system will make the energy to get it stored whenever it is available and during its peak time, that is whenever it is required by the customer. This battery energy storage device will deliver the power by properly managing, that is by properly utilizing the energy management technique. Therefore, the energy storage will have a greater impact. So energy storage will have a greater impact in storing the energy. So what could be the different available resources for storing the energy? In the sense, it could be pumped hydro, advanced batteries, flow batteries, compressed air, superconducting magnetic energy storage, supercapacitors and flywheel. These are all the different energy storage device that is available. which is having a greater impact in storing the energy, and also will have a associated market mechanism. Here, just like that, we cannot use any type of battery, any type of system for storing your energy. So there will be a associative market mechanism, like a uh, market mechanism for handling your renewable energy resources, distributed in generation, environmental impact and pollution, and other component necessary at the generation level. So these 3 points is going to play a vital role in case of storage component. First one, according to ecological condition, the energy drawn is going to vary, and this is not constant. So we are going for an energy storage element, which is the energy storage element will have a greater impact in storing your energy. Some of your energy storage elements are pumped hydro, advanced batteries, flow batteries, compressed air, superconducting material, supercapacitor and flywheels. And you cannot use just like that. So there will be an associative market mechanism for handling this renewable energy resources, distributed generation, environmental impact and pollution, and other components that is necessary at the generation level. Next, we are going to see the transmission subsystem component. So transmission subsystem component will have a feeders. Here, what this particular transmission subsystem will do in the sense, it will interconnect all the major substation and the load center. For example, we'll have a generating station, and this is going to be your end user. So this is your generating station. It is going to be the end user. In between this, there will be a transmitting substation and other one distributing substation. Okay, so this transmitting substation, what it will do, it will interconnect all major substations and the load centers. So you can see here, this is going to be your load center. This transmitting substation will interconnect all your major amount of substations and load center. So this transmitting substation will be the backbone of your integrated power system. So this transmission substation is going to be the backbone for the integrated power system operation. Next, when you are using, when you are implementing, you have to think about the reliability, flexibility, and whether the cost is in the affordable range. And transmission lines must tolerate the dynamic change in the load. For example, if the output load is getting abruptly or linearly, or any because of due to non-linearities and uncertainties, if the load is getting changed at the output, then that change in load has to be taken care properly. Therefore, the transmission line, whatever we are selecting, it should tolerate the dynamic load change, and contingency without service disruptions should happen. So to ensure your reliability, stability for a dynamic change in your load and continuation in your supply, we are going to use a design of analytical tools and advanced technologies. So in the design of analytical tools, we will be modeling, mathematical modeling will be done by implementing the advanced technology concept, and so as to have a performance analysis such as dynamic optimal power flow, robust state estimation, real-time stability assessment, and reliability and market simulation tool. So this is the function of your transmission subsystem component. So when we are doing so, we have to do it with a real-time monitoring based on PMU. PMU is nothing but the phasor measurement unit. This phasor measurement unit will measure the phase angle between the voltage and current in synchronization with your state. So here your in synchronization with the state, your voltage and current phase angle will be measured. Therefore, real-time monitoring based PMU is utilized. So what this PMU will give in the sense, it gives the state estimator. State estimator in the sense, we will be identifying the state variables, and even we can check whether the system is completely controllable or observable, and the unknown parameter can also be identified when you are implementing this real-time monitoring system based PMU. So we need to have a certain strategy to achieve the smart grid performance at the transmission level. That includes your analytical design as well as your advanced technology. The next component is going to be, the next component is monitoring and control. Monitoring and control technology component. So this monitoring and control technology component, to monitor we need a smart meter, and to have a control technology we need the data from the data service operator or data system operator. So this monitoring and control technology component will have a intelligent transmission system, and that include a smart meter network, self-monitoring network, and self-healing network. Self-healing network in the sense, there will be a control room, so where we will be having many systems, and each system and all the systems will be controlled by a person. Like a automatic control will also be there, and also you can control by a person. So it could be a self-healing network. So first we should understand, while monitoring the intelligent transmission system and the asset, it will include the smart network and self-monitoring and self-healing network, and the adaptability and predictability of the generation, and demand robust. You could see the new robust grid. It has to withstand the shock, that is durability and reliability, and it has to be reliable to provide the real-time changes in its use. The next component in the smart grid is going to be intelligent grid distribution component. Intelligent grid distribution component, this is the final stage in the transmission of the power to the end. Here we'll be having two feeders. One is going to be the primary feeder, and the second one is going to be the secondary feeder. So this is going to be the final stage for transmitting your power to the end user. Primary feeder, what it do? Here the primary feeder will transmit the voltage. At this voltage supply, it will be supplied only to the small industrial consumer. And we have a secondary distribution feeder. The secondary distribution feeder will supply power to both residential as well as your commercial consumer. So at distribution level, we'll have an intelligent support scheme that monitors the data automatically and communicated with the consumers, and utility control can happen. Therefore, the energy management technique will be in a better process. This secondary distribution feeder will supply power to both residential and commercial. The automatic function in this will be equipped with a self-learning capability. Self-learning capability in the sense, we have different types of learning. Here artificial neural network happens, because in intelligent grid we'll have a human intelligence where we will be writing an algorithm by using a AI technique. So here the automation function will be equipped with a self-learning capability, and it includes certain modules for fault detection, voltage optimization, and load transfer. So these are all the certain functions of the intelligent grid distribution subsystem component. Thank you, students.